Alright, so today we'll be looking at the final Black Ops 1 Zombies map, Moon, and Moon for me is probably one of my favourite maps of all the Zombies maps. I think the way it plays, the things that happen on the map, the Easter egg itself, which I will not spoil in this video because it's such a big thing for the story, but everything about it is really well done. There are some things that are a bit annoying, but for the most part everything is fairly well done on Moon, and it was a really good way to end Black Ops 1's DLC cycle. So as always, what we'll do is we'll go over what Moon added to the game, what it did differently, and give my own thoughts on the map at the end, but without any further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so one thing that's quite unique with Moon is you start on Earth in the spawn room, and you have Pack-a-Punch right there, and either Juggernog or Speedco will spawn there as well. And this area is called No Man's Land, and what happens at the very start of the game is there's no rounds. Rounds don't start until you go to the actual map. But instead what will happen is you'll get an onslaught of zombies non-stop spawning, and back in the day in Black Ops 1, there used to be like a timer, and it was a separate leaderboard as well, so you'd kind of like be timed there rather than a round-based thing, and everyone was kind of competing for the highest time, and it was a lot of fun. Later on in the map, when you go back there, it just continues as like a normal round-based kind of system, but at the start of the game, it was pretty cool to try and do, and everyone was kind of competing for the best times as well. But yeah, that is where Pack-a-Punch is, and every other rotation, when you teleport down there, it's going to be Juggernog or Speed-Cola, so that is the only way you can get those two perks, is by going back. And then once you enter the map, the round-based kind of starts, and you have to grab your spacesuit, and that is one of the two pieces of equipment you'll use in this map quite a lot. So obviously you're on the Moon, which means there's no oxygen, which means you need a spacesuit, and certain areas of the map do not have oxygen, so you'll need to equip the helmet and make sure that you are able to breathe. Also within those sections as well, there's no gravity, so you do jump quite far, everything's quite slowed down, and again, it's to be expected, you're on the Moon. And I always thought that was a pretty cool system. It can kind of sometimes mess you up, like, it happened in Black Ops 1, and it happens in the Chronicles version as well. You'll be sprinting just normally, and all of a sudden your character will kind of like take flight, and you won't really know why. But I don't think that's ever anything that's been fixed, because it still happens even now. The second piece of equipment you have on the map is the hacker tool, and this is very important, and also does a lot of different things. So what will happen on Moon is there's 3 locations on the map that will be kind of attacked by these big mining drills, and you'll have a certain amount of time to get to the consoles that control the drills and, you know, hack them to stop them from entering the map. If they do enter the map, they'll breach an area that is already kind of like, it has oxygen and it's contained, and it'll basically make a massive hole in it, and it'll mean that you can't no longer breathe in there, and it's 0G in there as well. And also the drills can block your route. Now you can get rid of them when they have entered the map, but it just means that that area will now be like a no oxygen zone. But ideally, what you want to do is try and stop them before they enter the map. That way the air stays in, and you can still run around in the area quite safely, and there is no massive drill in the way as well. I usually only kind of let one of them go, because one of them that comes into the map, I don't go that way on the map. It's always closed anyway, so I don't much mind. But for the biodome and one of the 2 tunnels, I try and keep that one active as much as possible, especially in the biodome, because I feel like the biodome area, which is the area I'm in now in the gameplay, is quite good for your early to mid kind of game training and stuff. And later on I do change to an outside area, but I think for the early game the biodome is quite a good place to kind of set up and try and survive in for a bit. Alright, so next up you have your wonder weapon, and this one is the zap gun slash wave gun slash microwave gun, whatever you want to call it. And it's a dual wield 2-pistol zap gun, which electrocutes enemies when you shoot them with the standard version. But then when you switch to the dual version, what it's going to do is kind of connect the 2 guns together and cause all the zombies to kind of like puff up and explode. And you know, overall I would say it's a very good gun. There is one kind of downside to the gun, and it was a thing in Black Ops 1 and it's still a thing in Black Ops Chronicles, is the gun itself can't actually spawn power-ups. So if you need ammo, this is not a good way to get it. Your best bet is to obviously have a different gun as well. Probably a normal gun, but yeah, this gun doesn't spawn power-ups at all, and it can throw you off in the late game. But other than that, it's a fairly strong gun. Both versions of it are very, very good, and it holds quite a lot of ammo as well, which is useful. In terms of perks in Moon, there was one more perk added to the game in Moon, and not only was it added to Moon, but it was added to the other maps as well. That perk was of course Mule Kick, and it's a very simple perk. All it does is allows you to carry a 3rd gun, which some people really do like and some people just don't really get on with. It can kind of throw your game sometimes, where if you get like a Mule Kick and then your 3rd weapon ends up being the wonder weapon, you go down, you lose that gun, and it's quite a lot of points to get it all back. So obviously the perk's quite expensive, I believe it's 4k, and then you've just got to upgrade and get your weapons back and stuff like that, and it can just be an inconvenience, but I kind of do like the perk, and it's useful to have a 3rd gun, especially if you've got a gun like the Thunder gun or something in the map, and you can just have that and 2 main weapons. So yeah, it definitely had its uses, and like I said, it got added to every other map in Black Ops 1, and it's quite a common perk. You'll see it in quite a lot of maps throughout the entire kind of line of zombies. And yeah, it's been something that's stuck around for a long time. Now, in terms of additions to the map, there was two things that got added to the map. One I couldn't get for the love of me out of the box, and I tried many times, and one was the boss astronaut zombie that rarely ever appeared in the game. Maybe it was there the whole time, I just never ran into him, but I'll go over the boss first. Pretty much it's just this zombie in a spacesuit that roams around, and if he grabs you, he can kind of hit you and teleport you anywhere, and it does have a chance to remove a perk from you as well, so don't run into him. It's kind of like George Romero from Call of the Dead, but it's a lot easier to kill and respawns more frequently. And then you have the quantum bomb. Now, the quantum bomb is an interesting one. I tried to get out of the box a few times, but it never really happened. And what it does is all kinds of different things. So you can throw it at teammates that are down, and it has the potential to revive them. You can throw it at doors that are open, and it has the potential to close them. You can spawn power-ups. You can throw it into a Gersh device to maybe spawn another one. And sometimes you can throw it, and it has like with different weapon effects, where it will shoot like grenade launchers or stuff like that. It's very strange. It's not as good as the Gersh. The Gersh is basically a monkey bomb, but better, I would say, and you're better off with them. But if you want to use the quantum bombs and have some fun with them, you definitely can, but they're not the most ideal thing to use to try and get high rounds and stuff like that. Speaking of the high rounds, I think this is more of a training map rather than a camping map. I have tried to find a decent camping spot for the video, but I just couldn't find one, so instead I just went back to how I usually play the map. So I usually train in the biodome until about 25 to 30, and then I'll kind of go outside to where the portal is back to Earth, and I kind of do it around that rock, because it's quite an open space. There's a lot of spawns, so it does go by quite quickly, and there's a lot of room to kind of maneuver and get around if you do get stuck. The real complaint I have with that kind of training area is if you're outside, there's no gravity, and sometimes you can just sprint and all of a sudden start kind of flying, and it can throw you off, but for the most part you can kind of control it before it gets too out of hand. But yeah, overall, like I said, I do like the map a lot. I really do like Moon, and it does have its issues with the kind of, like I just said, the issues with the zero gravity and stuff like that, and there are some moments that can throw you off, but for the most part it's a very enjoyable map. The Easter egg, again, I won't spoil it, but it's very important to the story of the game, so if you follow it, a lot of things happen at the end of Moon's Easter egg that are big and lead into Black Ops 2 quite well, so I won't spoil it here, but it's very fun to do and definitely worth your time if you haven't done it already. But with that being said, that's pretty much all of the Black Ops 1 maps. I was going to do Dead Ops Arcade 1, but I don't know if there's any interest in doing that. If there is, do let me know. But yeah, we're moving on to Black Ops 2, and that starts with Transit, which is a big one. There's a lot going on that map. There's a lot of changes in Black Ops 2, so it'll probably be a bit of a longer video. But yeah, Black Ops 2, solid zombies game. Very 50-50 on the maps. I think some of them are good and some of them aren't as good, but it's still a very good zombies game. And then after that, we'll move on to Black Ops 3, which is a big undertaking. There's a lot of good maps in that game and a lot of things to talk about. So thank you all for the support on the Black Ops and World at War videos so far. I'm actually very happy with how well the videos are doing for zombies, so thank you all for that. But yeah, as always, thank you for watching. Remember to leave a like on the video if you did enjoy, and comment your thoughts on Moon down below. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one.